Two rounds now in the books at the RBC Canadian Open. We're at the halfway point. Jason Logan and Bob Weeks here with you from Hamilton Golf and Country Club. And Jason, it was a little bit more of the same today. Lots of red numbers out there, lots of red scores, but different guys shooting the lowest rounds.
Well, Tim Clark had the lowest round today, and we'll get to him in a little bit, but I think what was interesting today is we knew there was going to be low scoring because of the overnight rains, soft conditions again. But I think what's good for the golf tournament and what's good for the field is the guys who went really low yesterday, speaking specifically of Scott Piercy, who set the course record yesterday. He played well today, but he didn't back it up with another low round, so he didn't separate himself. Greg Owen went low yesterday, didn't have a very good day today, so the leaderboard is still pretty bunched up with some guys like Robert Garrigus, who had a slow start yesterday, shooting a low round, moves up to the top of the leaderboard, but again, pretty bunched at the top.
And a couple of guys who've been looking for some low rounds finally busting out in the name of Tim Clark, the aforementioned Tim Clark, and Camilo Villegas, of course, with Brandon Little, Mike Weir's old caddy on the bag. Two guys who really kind of needed a low round, I think.
Well, certainly that's the case for Camilo Villegas, who's really struggled over the last couple of years, and he's a popular player, so I think it's good for the tournament that he's up on the leaderboard. Tim Clark, we spoke to, shoots a 62, just misses on the low side for birdie on his final hole to set a new course record, which would have been 61. I'm sure that would have made the golf course really happy. He's dealt with some injuries, and so he's finally rounding back into form. Of course, you know, a President's Cup player, Players Championship a few years ago, so nice to see him back shooting some low scores.
And a guy who's not unfamiliar to winning in Canada, played two events on the Canadian Tour in 1998, won them both, the New Brunswick Open and the Canadian PGA Championship. Speaking of Canadians, 5 will play on the weekend. A little maybe disappointing with 23 players in the field, but still to have those good 5 in there, and an interesting mix of 5 Canadians.
Yeah, I think some guys you would expect to make the cut, David Hearn and Graham Dillette. David Hearn is the low Canadian right now. Another solid round, 2 under par today. He didn't make too many mistakes. Probably left a few shots out there, admittedly, he said afterwards. Graham Dillette, you know, shot 3 over par on the first 3 holes yesterday, bounced back, and then put a pretty solid round together as well. Nice to see Matt McQuillan playing well. He's really had a struggle this year and says he can't figure it out, but he was really happy that he puts his game together this week. And then how about Albin Choi, the amateur, playing in his second Canadian Open, lots of friends and family. He's from Toronto, and he's having a blast out there.
Well, speaking of blasts, I think we're going to get one here overnight. The weatherman is forecasting some nasty weather. They're going to go off in threesomes between 10:30 and 12:30 tomorrow. Try and get the rain, try and get in before the big storms tomorrow, but there's probably some more overnight on Friday night. So again, it'll be ripe for the picking if and when they do get out there on Saturday. That's it. Check back tomorrow for more from the RBC Canadian Open here on ScoreGolf.com.